Hello, Erin and Daniel fans. Welcome back. So excited. Surprise, we got our leading lady who needs no introduction. Welcome, Erin Krakow. Yay.
Thank you so much. You know I love an introduction.
I should have built you up a little bit more.
No, I
I'll
feel
do better.
sufficiently built up, Jeanette. And if I may, I feel so grateful to you and lucky that you've been such a big supporter of me and my work over the years. And not only are you just a delight to interact with online, but you're such a dear person in person. And it was so exciting to get to have you on our set and involve you in our movie. And
Yeah.
you're a great friend to us, and I'm very
Yeah.
grateful.
Oh, thank you. Well, now you're going to get me all verklempt to start things off. I
Good.
wasn't ready for
Yes.
that.
Well,
Thank you. Well,
sorry.
I enjoyed every second on set, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity. So, yeah, memories that will last a lifetime for sure. So,
Aw, nice.
yeah. So, how are you? You are in the home stretch of When Calls the Heart. I mean, literal home stretch. How's it going on
Yes.
set? How's season 12 going?
It's going great on set. I have one scene left to shoot. We are in our last day of
Oh,
season 12.
yay.
Uh, it has been, this season is just so major. It's
Yeah.
been, I don't even know where to begin. It's been a real roller coaster of ups and downs and all kinds of good stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you're seeing flies move through the shot, it's because I am at Jamestown where we film and we just can't escape the flies. So that's what's
Yeah.
happening. But
Yeah.
anyway, yes, I'm very, it's bittersweet when we reach the end of the season,
Yeah.
but it feels like I'm just so excited for everyone to see it.
Oh, good. Yeah. Does it feel like the time from day one to now, does it feel like it flies by, or does it take feel like it takes a long time?
Day one of season one?
No, season 12, like from the beginning, when you get in
Yeah.
Vancouver to now, like does it feel like, oh my gosh, here we are at the end of the season already?
Uh, it starts to move a lot faster when you reach the halfway point.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a ball rolling down the hill, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, like yesterday and a year ago all at once.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've ever done an interview on the very last day of shooting? It must be, huh?
Yeah, probably. You get
Yeah.
the prize.
Yeah,
Yep.
woohoo. Too fun. Well, I know you have limited time today, so we definitely want to dive into this little movie coming up that we're a little bit excited about.
Yeah.
Santa tell me. So, talk to me a little bit about like Ryan's script, because I'm assuming that's probably one of the first things you get. What sort of drew you to the project?
The script. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, when Hallmark offers me projects, I want to be able to do them whatever it is because I really value my relationship with Hallmark and I think they've got great taste and it's always very flattering when they want to put me in other projects. But this one in particular, when I read Ryan's script, I just thought, oh, this is going to be really good. Regardless of, who was cast in that leading lady role, I was glad that the scheduling worked out and I was able to do it because it was just magical from the start and such an opportunity for me to kind of reconnect with my comedic roots. There's a lot of fun, funny
Mhm.
moments in the movie. So that
Yeah.
was a real joy for me. Great script.
Yeah, we love you in the comedic moments. So,
Thank
and
you.
yes, and I love that everyone is using the word magical when they describe this movie. That's very exciting. And have you seen it? You've watched the final cut, right? Yeah.
So
And
it's really good. Am I allowed to say that? It's really
yes, Dan did.
And you know what? Just to speak to your comment about magical, it's
Mhm.
magical in the literal sense of things because there is some Christmas magic in the movie. There's a magical component of Santa communicating to my character, Olivia, but it's
Mhm.
also just magical in the feeling of Christmas time and falling in love and just all of those lovely feelings that come with, you know, the
Yeah.
holiday season and romance. It's really heartwarming.
Oh, good. Yeah. The more people I talk to about the movie, I didn't think it was possible for me to get more excited, but every single one of you I talk to, it's like, oh my gosh, to hear
Oh,
your genuine reactions is really exciting. So,
oh, good.
um, so talk to us a little bit about the casting, like share with the fans about how it came about, how soon you knew it was going to be Dan. Like, I mean, how did this happen that you are finally making so many Hardy's dreams come true? Me
Well,
included.
yeah, well, very nice. I was not involved in casting at all. I received the offer and was super excited to do the movie, like I said, because the script was so great. And then I don't know if it was a week or so after, I can't really remember the timing, but then I got a call from my team saying that Dan had also been cast. And, it, I think that it was just, I think that it was the network's idea to pull together this reunion, knowing that it would be super meaningful and exciting to the Hardys. Um,
Sure.
and and yeah, that's kind of how it went. And then I got in touch with Ryan, who wrote and directed this project, and was just always asking about, okay, so who's cast in this part? Who's cast in this part? And obviously
Yeah.
there's a lot of really fun um, featured players in the roles of the Knicks, who I think our viewers will recognize and really enjoy. And Jess, who played my sister, was just so fantastic. Um, there's a lot of great actors in this movie. It really came together nicely.
Yeah. That's really cool to hear that it did come from the network, that they recognize that that's something that the Hardys have always wanted
Yeah,
and finally made it happen after all these years. Like that's really special.
that's one of the great things about working with Hallmark is I think they really care deeply about what their viewers want to see. And they can't give you everything you want, but
Right.
like I think that they listen and they see the outreach, and so they want
Mhm.
to make their viewers happy.
Yeah. Was this really was this honestly like the first time that you guys got close? Were there ever any possibilities the last 5 years of you two working together, or was this really kind of the first solid, like, I know there was a lot about you both wanted it to be right timing and things like that. Um, yeah.
I think Dan and I talked years ago about trying to find a project that would feel like an appropriate vehicle for this, but it never happened. We both got busy.
Yeah.
Um, and but this, I mean, Dan can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this is the first time that the network brought a project to us and thought that
Mhm.
this was the right fit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it feels like perfect timing to me. I mean, of course, I would have taken one every year, but but this is very exciting. So,
What's kind of nice about it is
mm,
I know people who have followed our work together, they will probably always see us as Jack and Elizabeth in some way. But what's nice about it is, however many years later, there's a little bit more distance between our work together on When Calls the Heart and our work in
mhm.
Santa Tell Me. And so maybe it will be easier for people to view us as these new characters with a little
Yeah,
bit of space.
very, very true. And then Elizabeth is happy and getting settled on When Calls the
Yeah.
Heart, and so yeah, it's good timing. So,
Yeah.
um, share with us a little bit about Olivia. What is Olivia like?
Well, Olivia, um, okay, we start the movie on Olivia 25 years earlier. So we get to
Oh,
know
okay,
her as a child and see what her dreams are. She wants a dollhouse and she wants to know who her soulmate is.
okay.
And she gets the dollhouse, but she doesn't get to find out who the soulmate is. And so I think that that kind of sets her on a path where love is just no longer the priority. Her relationships in the past haven't really worked out. She's focused all of her energy on her work, and she's very passionate about her work as a
Mhm.
renovator and interior designer. Um, so yeah, she's just this very driven woman, and she's on the precipice of a great opportunity and promotion in her field. It just so happens that she gets word from Santa at that exact moment, and it complicates things because she's on a deadline to find the love of her life, but she also has to rise to the occasion in her field in order to, get her own show, get this promotion.
Well, it's so funny that so she's a workaholic, doesn't really have time for love. And then all of a sudden in walks four four options for I mean, yeah,
It's
that's a
tough.
lot for her to handle, sounds like.
It is. I didn't think that would be a lot for anyone to handle.
True.
I know. I saw a comment someone posted online something about like, gosh, this Erin just keeps finding herself in projects where she can't choose which man to end up with. I'm like,
Well, I did do the fan art where it was the love
you
triangle and
did. Yeah.
and I was like, you went from, two options to four. So, next movie, six, eight.
Okay.
Oh, too much. Well, that was fun. How was it working with four different leading men, all different personalities, different talents they bring to the table?
Yeah.
And so you haven't worked with the other three, right? Had you ever worked with Ben Ayers? I know that you had talked
No,
about it, but
no. Ben and I and Chris and I had met previously, but we'd never worked together. And Kurt and I had never met. Um, Dan and I obviously worked together quite a bit. Um, yeah, it was such a delight. They were all so fun and funny and prepared, and they were kind of playing as you watch the movie, we obviously find out more about each Nick and what makes each Nick that specific Nick. Um, we've got like the pediatric surgeon and the woodworking artisan and the shirtless firefighter, and so they all bring a lot to the table. And we get to see the broader, more like almost caricature version of who they are as we highlight those elements. But we also get to see each of them in a more grounded moment and see the reasons why Olivia might fall in love with them. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Each Nick got a different kind of date, and there was a different activity and shenanigan that we found ourselves in. And yeah, it was just a great time.
I enjoyed that on the cast list, they were each listed as Nick A, Nick B, Nick C. I didn't realize that there's a clip from the movie where you actually call them that. I thought that was just like, yeah, I didn't realize those become their pseudo names in the film.
Well, haven't you ever seen The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? You usually have,
Oh, yes, that's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to differentiate. Otherwise, who knows? The misunderstandings.
Too funny. Well, getting back to working with Dan, like when you guys first came on set, I talked to him a little bit about this. Were there nerves? It's been a long time, 5 to 7 years, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Were there some nerves? Was it comfortable? Did it take some time to kind of get back into the groove of working together?
Um, I don't know that it really took time to get back into the groove. I remember our first scene, and um, I think our first scene was the one that has been featured as a sneak peek where we're walking through this holiday market.
Oh,
And we end up, he challenges me to a snowball situation. What do you call that?
oh.
Hit the Santa, but there's a name for it at the
Yeah,
fair.
it looked like it said Santa Knockout or something like that, or
Great. Yes. Anyway, I think that was our first scene. And I think we did our first take and kind of looked at each other like, oh, yeah, this
yeah.
is what this is.
Well,
We
that's
see
so
it.
fun because it was a comedic scene too that you
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
yeah, that's
exactly.
very
Um, and as for like, feelings leading up to it, I had been, I think I had already been at work for a few days, maybe. So I was a little bit in the swing of it on this project already. And I was lucky enough to be surrounded by my girls, our hair and makeup team. So I was already, in a happy place. And I remember getting to the trailer and seeing Dan, and it was kind of emotional for both of us, I think. Maybe
Mhm.
I did feel a little nervous anticipation about seeing him and working together again after so many years. Um, Dan and I obviously are dear friends, and we were great friends when we were working together. But the reality is, we just haven't seen much of each other in the past few years. We've both been very busy with projects and travel, and so I don't even know that we're in the same city very often. So this was a gift to get to reconnect and spend some more quality time together on set, and yeah, it went well.
And I know the answer to this question, but I know fans, this will be one of the riveting ones, is while in Vancouver, did Willoughby and Oscar ever meet?
You know the answer to this question?
Yeah, I asked you when we were on set. It,
Did they?
no.
Oh,
You're like, wait, am I
well,
forgetting?
you were setting it up like it had some juicy answer, but
No, I just
no, I
know
don't.
I just know fans will want to know because
Oh,
Oscar and Willoughby are famous in their own right.
sure,
So
sure.
people would love that little duo.
Oh, Willoughby was on set with me yesterday, well, in my trailer,
Mhm.
and he has made so many good friends here.
Aw.
It goes the heart. And I knew that Willoughby wouldn't be coming into work with me today, and so people were saying goodbye to him, and they were very,
Oh,
very emotional. They didn't
oh.
meet Willoughby. He's such a good boy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, too funny.
no, they didn't
Well,
meet again.
it's official. There will have to be a sequel then, and they can meet at the on the next
Okay, we'll talk to
one.
Ryan.
Okay. So, speaking of Ryan, with him being both writer and director,
Yes.
from an actor's perspective, how was it for you as far as do I need to, with the writer here, do I need to stick super close to the script? Did you have a conversation with Ryan about that, or how did that go?
Um, you will find when you watch this movie that my character talks a lot. Um, and so I think what I said to Ryan was, it is my goal to stick the landing and really deliver your lines exactly as written. You know, punctuation is important to me. I think I have a lot of respect for writers. Oh, great mug.
No,
Can we
really?
get that flashed on screen a little
Your
bit?
your
Yeah,
little
turn it.
horse there.
Nice. Um, yeah, I have a lot of respect for writers and I want to make sure that their vision is brought to life, you know, as close as possible to what they imagined. Um, it, it wasn't always possible to get it exactly right. And Ryan at one point was like, Erin, just like give yourself a break. It's okay. It's fine if it's, you know, if it's a
Yeah.
little off, don't worry. And he was also super collaborative. So if something wasn't working on the day and we needed to make adjustments, or if there was, you know, like a fun improvisation in the moment, he really celebrated those moments. He was never trying to handcuff us to his words. He was really very supportive and collaborative.
Mhm. And this is first time for him to Hallmark, which is exciting,
It
as far as
really
both
is.
writing and directing. So,
Mhm.
is there something like a little different that you felt he brought to the script or brought to a Hallmark movie, like a twist he kind of gives to it?
He's so talented.
Yeah.
Ryan is I would do whatever project he brought to me. I don't even think I'd have to read it. I just feel that
Oh,
confident in his talent.
yeah.
And both on the page and on set, I would feel protected by him. And I can say that with confidence because I've seen this movie and he has poured so much heart and energy into it. Um, I really think the world of him, and I would be excited and honored to get to work with him again. What was your question?
Just what if there's something different that he kind of brings to the Hallmark world, or I mean, it sounds like a lot of, I mean, just from the scenes we've seen, a lot of comedy, which is always fun.
Yes, a lot
Um,
of comedy.
yeah.
I think that he really viewed it like he just had so much invested in it and so much care for it because it was his baby in so many ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that level of investment and care really translates.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you'll see it's a labor of love, absolutely.
Yeah. Going back to what you said about the script and how you have a lot of words, you have a lot of lines. He
Yeah.
did share a little insider joke that you had
Oh, no.
about the
No, don't
chunky,
say it. Don't. Oh.
and that you gave him a little gift at the end of the shooting. Why did you have that reaction?
You know, so actually this connects back to Dan. I don't know if I've ever told this story. It was before we started shooting season one of One Calls the Heart. I was in
Oh,
a hotel room with Dan and Michael Landon Jr. We were all gathered to go through the scripts together. I think that we were reading through all of the Jack and Elizabeth moments from episode one through four, just kind of making sure we were all on the same page about arc and getting ready for the season. which is nice because often there's very little time on the day on set to dig into a scene and rehearse it. Um, anyway, we were working through a scene and Dan was I think he had like a chunk of dialogue to say, and he was tripping over his words a little bit. I don't know, maybe it was the accent, but and I say this with love in my heart. I'm not like it's not in any
Yeah.
way a disparaging comment, but I to encourage him, I said, "Don't worry, Dan. It's a really wordy scene." And Michael, who was sitting right there, was like, hello, because he had obviously been a large part of writing it
Right.
and took offense in a lighthearted way. And I said, no, 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 I didn't mean it in an offensive way. I just mean there are a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
so similarly, I made the comment that it was a chunky scene, and then and then I had to explain myself what I meant by
Oh,
that.
oh,
I
too
think
funny.
in this case it was that it was a long scene and we had setups in different rooms. So it may have been one scene, but it was in like, three or four different chunks.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, who knew that it had that little inside joke had all that history behind
Yeah, I know.
it?
Some say history, some say baggage.
Well, so I talked with Dan, asked if we would see any kind of, moments that reminded us of Jack and Elizabeth, or if you guys threw any Easter eggs in, and he said that you did. Anything you can hint at, or we should be on the lookout for?
Um, you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah. An
Um,
Easter egg near and dear to my heart, maybe?
yeah, I think so.
Yay.
I don't know that I want to say more about that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, I think what I will say is there was an awareness of our fans watching and wanting to really deliver something special for them.
Hmm.
And yeah, so if it's an Easter egg or just, the two of us being particularly present in a scene, like we're thinking of all of you.
That's very sweet. It will be fun to watch, like see people respond as the movie's airing to see. I mean, there might be some that people see that you didn't even recognize in the,
That's
like just
true.
just looks or the way you interact.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
So
true.
that'll be fun. Well, should probably wrap up, I think. But do you have a favorite scene or moment in the film?
Oh,
Without spoiling anything, that's the hard part.
I know that is the hard part, isn't it? Um, I really have a lot.
Yeah.
No, I can't. This is too tough to choose.
Yeah.
Um, I will say that there's something really nice about Dan and I, well, I mean, the whole crew, we returned to a set that will be familiar to longtime One Calls the Heart viewers. So that was kind of fun. It felt like a full circle moment to be back in that place.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we spoiled that one already, or I
no,
did.
way to go.
Well, Ryan did a little bit. We talked about
Of
it with Ryan.
course. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. If it came from Ryan, it's allowed. Anyway, yeah, you know what? There's just too many scenes to choose from. I
Yeah,
think I particularly enjoy the more comedic moments.
that
Um,
was, yeah, I wondered. Yeah.
yeah, the gags that we got to play, some of the special effects stuff. There's some really cool prosthetic makeup that happens at one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's a hoot. It's really a fun movie. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for people to see it.
Yeah, Dan said the cut is really beautiful with the comedy of it. The cuts are
Yes.
really good on it.
We have such a smart editor. He really knows comedy. He nailed it. Really, really it supports the movie in such a major way. I think without his work, it would have been a totally different film.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Well, this movie and all Hallmark movies are a huge part of our holiday traditions. And so grateful and grateful to you guys for making this happen after all these years. But with the holiday traditions, do you have any big plans this holiday seasons or with the
Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
I just feel I need to like keep my head in the game. Um, the one calls the heart game.
yeah,
We're obviously just finishing. We're about to wrap, and
yeah,
there's been a lot packed into our final couple of episodes.
yeah.
So that has really had my focus. And
Hmm.
in fact, like I'm hoping that I'm able to tweet along a little bit tomorrow
Yeah.
night, but it's also our wrap party. So
Oh,
I'm trying to be present with my When Calls the Heart people and also support Santa Tell Me. So I'll do
yeah.
the best that I can, but
Well, just everyone group tweet. Just have everybody tweet.
great. Perfect.
No big deal.
Yeah,
That's
no big
no
deal.
chore. Get every single person at a party to take
Yeah.
15 minutes and tweet. Well, we can't wait. And thank you so much for taking some time, my gosh, on your last day of filming. So appreciate it.
It's
And yeah,
always a pleasure to chat with you, and thank you for caring so much about this movie. I mean, as much, if not more, than us. And um, yeah, looking forward to the next chat.
all right. So for those of you watching, don't forget tomorrow night, oh my word, one day, one sleep, crazy. 8, 7 Central on Hallmark Channel and use the hashtag Santa Tell Me. I'll for sure be tweeting and hopefully
Great.
we'll see our girl on there a little bit. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.